Folks said he was a good man, but bless their hearts, he told them that himself. This is Tell Me Lies. He had the kind of smile that made people lean in, just warm enough to melt suspicion, and just crooked enough to feel honest. Bright white teeth that cost more than most folks' cars in these parts. By all appearances, he was the sort of man who helped neighbors fix their gutters, remembered your kids' birthdays, and always brought his trash can in the same night. But beneath that lacquered charm was a man who knew how to lie without blinking, not because he enjoyed it, but because it was easier than telling the truth. He lied to his wife about late meetings and what he'd done with a nanny and her best friend. He lied to his clients about numbers that didn't add up. He lied to his colleague about why he got promoted over him. He lied to himself, mostly, about who he was and what he deserved. And it had always worked for him. Until the night he walked into that bar on Fremont. Club Consequence wasn't the kind of place he usually went. A little dim, a little older, with music that drifted low like cigarette smoke. There were better spots downtown if you were looking to impress someone. But this wasn't about impressing. He wasn't even sure what it was about. Just a restless itch under his skin that made him want to be someone else for a little while. He saw her as soon as he passed the bouncer. She was sitting alone at the end of the bar. Long dark hair, red dress, a quiet confidence that made it clear she didn't need company, but wouldn't mind if it entertained her. He ordered a bourbon and settled into the stool beside her like it was a scene he'd practiced. "You here alone?" he asked. She turned her head slowly, not surprised, not amused, just watching him, like she was trying to decide what flavor of man he was. For a second, he almost lost his nerve. This wasn't his normal quarry. She eyed him more like a praying mantis, and he knew what kind of lovers they turn out to be. "For now," she said. He grinned. "Same." She glanced at his left hand, still faintly marked by the ring he wasn't wearing. "You're married." He didn't even flinch. "Separated." "Are you?" There was no edge to her voice, just a question asked like she already knew the answer. He hesitated just a beat too long. "She cheated on me with my best friend." Usually, this response garnered him sympathy, sometimes even some light physical contact. The woman tilted her head. Her fingers tapped gently against her glass. Then she asked lightly, like it was small talk, "Now, you wouldn't be lying to me?" He laughed, nervous, off balance. No, I swear." She didn't argue. She just turned her attention back to her drink, like she was listening to something only she could hear. He tried again. This time, he said, he wasn't the kind of guy that did one-night stands. She kept fiddling with her glass and murmured, "That's not the truth, is it?" He said he'd been through a lot. He lifted up his arm to drag his fingers through his hair while showing her a fully flexed bicep. She crunched a bit of ice, looked him dead in the eye. Every word, another lie. He said he needed something real for once in his life. He managed to make his eyes a bit glassy on that one. Again, she asked, softer this time, almost kind, "Tell me, just once, what's real?" Something broke open in him. Maybe it was the bourbon. Maybe it was the way she looked at him like she'd already seen the worst and didn't flinch. He dropped the script. "I don't want to hurt people," he said, "but I always do. I lie because I can, because it works." because they want to believe it so bad. And then I feel like crap, but only after, not during, never during. His voice cracked. He stared down at the bar, fingers tightening around the glass. I don't want to be that man anymore. I swear, I don't. I'd give anything if I could just stop. If I could stop hurting people, stop spinning the lies before I even know I'm doing it. He lifted his head, eyes wet, searching her face like he was begging to be believed. I want to change. I don't know how. She studied him in silence, eyes unreadable, then soft as a whisper. And this time, are you telling me the truth? He nodded, desperate. On my soul, I am. Something flickered across her face then, not pity, not forgiveness, something quieter. She reached for him, fingertips brushing the side of his face. Do you want to get out of here? She asked. He nodded. Outside, the night was still. He led her back to his car parked beneath the glow of a street lamp. He pushed her up against the door, feeling every delicious inch. She looked up at him, close enough that he could see the flecks of gold in her eyes. He leaned in, his breath catching as her hand came up between them. She touched his lips with 2 fingers, gentle as a blessing. He felt it instantly. The tightening, like skin pulling taut across his mouth. His breath hitched. He reached up to his face. You really shouldn't lie to the devil if you don't want me to believe you. And then she was gone. Just gone. No sound, no sign she had ever even been there. He was facing the car window and saw his reflection staring back. His mouth was gone. No lips, no teeth, no opening at all. Just smooth, silent skin where his voice used to live. He grabbed the first person he saw, a woman heading out to her car by the alley, and she screamed, "What the hell is wrong with your face?" He tried to scream, to explain, to lie his way out like always, but there was no mouth left to do it. Only skin, only silence. He'd sworn on his very soul, but for this particular debt, the devil was enjoying the show and wasn't in any hurry to collect. Funny thing about lies, when you tell them enough, folks stop looking for the truth. And by the time it shows up, well, it don't always come knocking. Sometimes it sits real pretty at the end of the bar. If you like this tale, pour yourself another and hit that follow. There's plenty more where that came from. Sweet dreams if you can find them. I'll see you here next time on Dead Time Stories HQ.